Who really controls the Middle East? Is it Iran with its allies and nuclear ambitions, or Israel, armed and backed by the West? Or are they just pawns in a bigger game played by America, Russia, and China on a global chessboard? The question isn't who's winning now, it's who will own the next century. The Middle East, a land where every grain of sand has witnessed war, faith, and empire. But today, a new kind of battle is being fought, not with swords, but with strategies. Iran and Israel, two nations locked in a shadow war that could decide the future of the world. From Tehran to Tel Aviv, from Gaza to the Red Sea, every move, every missile, every alliance is part of a global chessboard where the US, Russia, and China are all watching and playing. This is not just about religion or borders. Welcome to World O'Clock, and today we decode the Middle East power game, Iran, Israel, and the global chessboard.
After World War II, the Middle East became the new geopolitical prize. In 1948, Israel was born, supported by the US and the West. Across the region, Arab nations viewed it as a Western implant. But one nation initially stood apart. Iran, under the Shah, was actually one of Israel's earliest allies. That all changed in 1979. The Iranian Revolution overthrew the Shah and brought the Ayatollahs to power, anti-West, anti-Israel, and anti-US. Overnight, Iran went from friend to fierce enemy, declaring Israel the Little Satan and America the Great Satan. Thus began a cold, ideological, and strategic war that still defines the region today. Iran knew it couldn't match Israel or the US in open war. So, it built a network. The Axis of Resistance, a web of proxy forces across the Middle East. In Lebanon, Hezbollah. In Gaza, Hamas and Islamic Jihad. In Yemen, the Houthis. In Iraq and Syria, Shiite militias aligned with Iran.
This gave Tehran reach from the Mediterranean to the Red Sea. These groups carry out Iran's goals without Iran firing a shot. It's Iran's chess strategy, influence without invasion. Israel calls Iran its existential threat. For decades, Israel has conducted covert and direct operations to slow Iran's nuclear and regional ambitions. Mysterious explosions in Iranian facilities. Cyber attacks like the Stuxnet virus that crippled Iran's nuclear centrifuges. Assassinations of top Iranian scientists. Airstrikes in Syria targeting Iranian supply routes and militias. Israel also deepened ties with Arab nations through the Abraham Accords, bringing UAE, Bahrain, and others closer to Tel Aviv. Israel's message is clear. We will never allow Iran to go nuclear. Ever. But Iran and Israel are not the only players. The Middle East is a global chessboard. The US supports Israel with intelligence, funding, and weapons, keeping it the dominant regional military. Russia supports Iran and Syria, using the region to expand its military footprint and challenge the West. China, the quiet player, steps in with diplomacy and trade. In 2023, Beijing brokered the Saudi-Iran peace deal, a massive geopolitical surprise.
The Iran-Israel rivalry ignites every regional conflict. Gaza, where Iran supports Hamas and Israel retaliates massively. Lebanon, Hezbollah rockets threaten Israel's northern border. Yemen, Houthis strike oil tankers and threaten the Red Sea routes. Syria, the heart of the shadow war, where Iran entrenches and Israel strikes. These aren't isolated wars. They're coordinated moves in a larger game. Each conflict tests the boundaries of how far the US, Russia, and China will go. The danger? A single miscalculation, a rocket too far, a retaliation too strong could trigger a regional war. The heart of Israel's fear. Iran's nuclear program. Despite sanctions and sabotage, Iran has enriched uranium close to weapons-grade levels. Israel vows it will never allow a nuclear-armed Iran. The US and Europe push for diplomacy, but talks stall. Iran, meanwhile, says it only seeks peaceful energy. But the truth? Nuclear capability is power, and in the Middle East, power means survival. The balance of power is shifting. The US is slowly reducing its footprint in the region. China and Russia are expanding theirs. New alliances are forming, old enemies turning into cautious partners. The Middle East is no longer America's backyard, it's the global intersection of East and West. In this emerging world order, Iran and Israel are not just regional rivals, they are symbols of two competing visions. One built on resistance, one built on technological dominance.
The Middle East's power game isn't ending, it's only evolving. Every move, every strike, every handshake shapes the next century's global order. You've been watching World O'Clock. If you found this breakdown insightful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And tell us, who do you think will dominate the Middle East power game? Iran, Israel, or someone else entirely?